If company require fund for some project, they has to collect money from the outsiders. If company collected money from public as shareholders or as share capital, investors who wants fixed income at lesser risk prefer them. For example, unregistered means which can be freely transferable. Your names are not registered. Hello everyone, I am your Adarsh sir, lecturer in Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. So we are in the chapter 2 of your part B of your second PU Accountancy, part B and chapter 2. The topic name is Issue and Redemption of Debenture. What do you mean by issue as well as redemption? Issue means giving. Redemption means taking back. Now, issue of debenture. Debenture means what? Loan, or we call it as debt. So, company, if they require money, there are two kinds of collection of money from outsiders. Which are those? One will be equity shares or preference shares. Another one will be in the form of debentures. Again, I will repeat. If company require fund for some project, they has to collect money from the outsiders. Outsiders, there are two kinds of category. One will be shareholders, another one will be debentures. In the shareholders, we have equity as well as preference shares. Other than shareholders, we have one more form of collection of fund, that will be debenture holders. Now, shareholders will become owners of the company, but debenture holders are not owners, only money lenders of the company. Now, what do you mean by debenture? What kind of debentures we have? What are the advantages as well as limitations? Each and everything we will discuss in today's session. Now, meaning of debenture. Now, before we go to meaning of debenture, what do you mean by debenture? Yes, debenture means loan. Debenture means debt. Now, for example, there is a company called XYZ. So, what is the name of the company? Yes, XYZ. Company requires 50 lakh. How much company required? Company required 50 lakh for new project. Now, how company can collect from outsiders? Company doesn't have 50 lakh money, so obviously they should go for public. They should ask public for 50 lakh. Now, the company has two options. Option 1 will be share capital and option 2 will be debentures. First one is share capital and second one debenture. Now, if company collected 50 lakhs from shareholders, then shareholders means what? Public, they invest, they will be called as shareholders. Now, if company collected money from public as shareholders or as share capital, then company has to share their profit with them. Again, I will repeat. If company collects 50 lakh from shareholders as share capital, company has to share their profit. End of the year, whatever profit collects, in that profit, some portion they has to given to shareholders. Now, why? Because these people will become owners. Clear? Now, company doesn't want the outsiders has to be owner of the company, then they can go for second option. They can collect money from the public just like loan. Now, whatever amount collected, example, they have collected 50 lakhs. They have collected 50 lakhs from the public will not become owners. Now, whatever 50 lakh collected from them, every month company has to pay interest. Now, company earns profit, that is left to company only. The profit will not be distributed to debenture holders. Why? Because debenture holders are outsiders. If you collect money from public as a capital as a share capital, then these people will become part of the company. Again, I'll repeat. If you collect money from public as a share capital, these people will become part of the company. If company makes profit, you have to give profit to them. In case you don't want share capital, you go as a debentures. Now, there are like outsiders. Whatever money collected, every month you will get interest. That is called debenture holders. Now, shareholders will get dividend. Debenture holders will get interest. Dividend, it is nothing but profit of the company. Interest, nothing but whatever amount collected, on that they have to pay interest. Similarly, your bank loan. If you are taken 1 lakh loan from the bank, what you should do? Every month you should give interest to bank. Similarly, you have deposited 1 lakh into your bank. What bank will do? Yes, every month they will give you interest, maybe 6%, 5% or 7%. You will collect interest if you deposit in bank. Instead of depositing into bank, better give it to company. Company will give you more interest. Hope you understood what do you mean by debentures. Now we'll go for the actual meaning. Debentures are a debt. Debt, I told you, this is nothing but loan. Instrument used. What do you mean by instrument? For example, some XYZ company, I have given 50 lakh as a debenture. Every month the company will give me what? Interest. Now, I have given 50 lakh to the XYZ. What is the proof for that? Yes, XYZ company will give me one certificate. In the certificate, they will mention, I have collected 50 lakh from XYZ or PQR. Every month I have to pay some interest, 8% interest, 9% interest. All the details will be mentioned in that document. That document we call it as instrument. Now, this is only your debenture document. If you are given money to the company will give you documents like this. Nowadays, there is no hard copy, everything through soft copy only. Now, see, so there is a company called Jindal, means it is a steel company. Now, each debenture value 100. How many debentures you have taken? 100 debentures you have taken. The name, signature, everything will be there. So, the name of the person is Cherian. So, everything are mentioned in the document. That document we call it as instrument. Now, instrument used by a companies and government to issue the loan. The loan is issued to corporate basis. Their reputation at a fixed rate of interest. So, in the agreement itself, they mention what rate of interest. It may be fixed or variable. Fixed means they will mention it is 8%, 7%, something. If it is a variable, then every year it varies according to the company's rules. Now, debentures are also known as bond. Bond means there is a document, proof of your payment. Now, serves as a IOU. IOU means means I have taken so much of money and I have to pay it back after 5 years with interest of 8% or 10%. Now, between issuer and purchaser, companies use debentures when they need to be borrow the money at a fixed rate of interest for its expansion. If company wants to expansion, if they want to expand their business, they need what? Fund. That fund can be collected from public as debentures. Whoever invested in the company who are called as debenture holders. Clear? Yes. This is all about your debentures meaning. So, how many marks you will get in your examination if you learn debenture? Now, in your final examination, one 12 marks question, one 6 marks, one 2 marks, one 1 marks. What is the total weightage of your chapter? This will come for 21 marks. In your final examination, total 21 marks covers with this chapter, debenture chapter. You understood what do you mean by debenture? Now we'll go for advantages of debenture. Again, this will be a 1 or 2 marks question. You have to remember any 2 points out of this, not more than that. There are almost 5 points are there. You remember only 2. Now, what are the advantages? Now, investors who wants fixed income at lesser risk prefer them. For example, I am a public, I am an individual now. So I have 1 lakh with me. Some XYZ company, they require 1 lakh. So for me, if I go to bank, I'll get maximum 6% interest. How much I will get? 6% per annum. In a year, if I spend 1 lakh, if I invest 1 lakh in bank, I'll get 6,000. This is for 1 year. So I have rupees 1 lakh. If I deposit in bank, how much I will get? I'll get 6,000 per year. Means for 12 months, you will get only 6,000. If you go month wise, it will be, you will get 500 rupees per month for your 1 lakh investment. Now, for the same 1 lakh, you have an option. There is a company called PQR. Instead of bank, there is a company called PQR. Now, so they have given a public announcement that we need 1 lakh rupees for expansion. How much they need? 1 lakh rupees for expansion. They will give you 22%. How much they are giving? 22%. Now, 22%, how much they require? 1 lakh. So 1 lakh 22% means how much you will get? 22,000. Instead of bank, if you invest in bank, how much you will get? Only 6,000. If you invest in that PQR Limited, how much you will get? 22,000. Which one you prefer? Obviously, we go for PQR Limited. So, if company goes loss, then also you will get 22,000. If company earning huge profit, then also you will get 22,000 fixed income per year. Clear? Yes. Now, investor who wants fixed income. If you want fixed income of 22,000 per annum, you can go for debenture. That is the first advantages. Now, as a debenture does not carry voting rights. If you are a shareholder, you will get voting rights. If you are a debenture holder, you will not get voting rights. Third one, financing through them is less costly as compared to the cost of preference and equity. If you want to buy equity shares or preference shares, it is expensive compared to your debenture because so much documentation has to be happen in case of equity as well as preference. But in case of debenture, documentation will be less, so cost will be less. Now, company does not involve its profit in debenture. Normally what happens, if you go for share capital, if company running under profit, you will get dividend. If company running under loss, you will get 0. Clear? Yes. But in case of debenture, whether company running under profit or loss, you will get fixed at 22,000 per annum. Now, so whatever amount or percentage I have given, that is only for example purpose. Now, the issue of debenture is appropriate in the situation when the sales and earning are relatively stable. Normally when debentures are given, yes, when the sales and purchases or earning of the company are stable, then they will go for debenture. Then only the company issue debenture. So the security will be more in case of debentures compared to your share capital. Now, you have total 5 points. remember, how many points you have to remember? Only 2. Now, advantages over. Wherever we have advantages for anything, we must have disadvantages also. Now, which are the disadvantages if you go for debentures? Now, each company has certain borrowing capacity. With the issue of debentures, the capacity of company to further borrow funds reduced. Now, for example, XYZ company, they can borrow how much? Maximum 10 lakh from the outsiders. Now, if they want 15 lakh, they cannot go for debenture. Up to they can go for 10 lakh. So, certain restrictions will be there. They cannot cross those restrictions. That is the first disadvantages of debenture. Second one, with redeemable debenture, the company has to make provisions for repayment on the specified date, even during periods of financial strain on the company. The main disadvantages for company by issuing debenture is, for example, they have taken 10 lakh from public as a debenture and they promise that in 2025, now it is 2020, in 2025 I'll repay your amount back. Now, in 2025, the company is running under loss. The company financial position is very weak. The company doesn't have cash only. Now, they have promised that after 5 years, they repay that debenture. Now, at the current situation, the company is not able to repay. Then the company has to struggle. They has to collect money or borrow money from one more person. Whatever collected, they has to give it back to debenture holders. Now, there is a main disadvantages of a company. If it is a shareholder, then no problem. If company is running under loss, then the company will not repay. If company is running under profit, then they will pay. But in case of debenture, whether company is in profit or loss, company has to maintain its promises. Company has to fulfill its promises. Now, debenture put a permanent burden on the earnings of a company. The same thing what I explained you. Even though company is running under loss, they has to pay interest to the debenture holders. So, it is a permanent burden to the company. So, these are the disadvantages. Again, same procedure. You have to remember any 2 points. Now, once your advantages, meaning and disadvantages is done, the next part will be types of debenture. Now, this will be your 1 mark question. Name any 2 types of debentures. Now, in this we have secured, unsecured, redeemable, irredeemable, registered and unregistered debenture. Total we have 6 types. Out of 6, you have to remember any 2. Easy to remember: registered, unregistered, secured, unsecured. These 4 remember for your examination. Now, I'll go with this: registered and unregistered. In your examination, explanation not required. Just for the understanding purpose, I am explaining. Now, what do you mean by registered? So, as a public, I have invested 5 lakh in the company. So, as soon you invest in the company, in the register book, they will write down your name. And your name will be registered with the SEBI also. That we call it as registered company. Now, unregistered means which can be freely transferable. Your names are not registered in the registered book, so it can be transferred to any number of persons. That we call it as unregistered. Registered and unregistered, simple example is, if your name is registered in the book, then it is a registered. If your name is not registered in the company's book, then it is called as unregistered debentures. Now, redeemable, irredeemable. What is redeemable? Remember, redeemable means repayable. Irredeemable means non-repayable. For example, company has taken 5 lakh from the public. They promise that after 5 years, I'll give it back your 5 lakh. That is called redeemable. Irredeemable means company has taken 5 lakh from the public. Company will not promise that after a certain year they will repay. Company can promise that when company will close, when company will wind up, at that time they will repay your amount. Clear? In the middle they will not repay. At the time of closing of company, they will repay your 5 lakh back. That is called irredeemable debentures. Hope you understood. Next, secured and unsecured debenture. Now, just assume I am public. So, some company called XYZ. Company require 5 lakhs. Now, company asked me, so I need 5 lakh. Can you invest in my company as a debenture? Now, in the company there is a big machineries are there. The machineries are worth of 10 lakh. Again I will repeat. In the company big machineries are there. The machineries are worth of 10 lakh. So I told them I will give you 5 lakh but I need documents of your machinery. So for that 5 lakh rupees, what I have taken from the company, I have taken the original purchase copy of those machinery. Clear? Yes. So this we call it as secured debenture. Now, whenever the company repay that 5 lakh to me, then I'll give it back those documents. One more example I can give you. The company has a big vehicle. The vehicle cost is around 20 lakh. How much company require 5 lakh from me? I'll give you 5 lakh, but you give me documents of that vehicle. As soon as you give it back, I repay that 5 lakh, I'll give it back your document. That document is a surety. So this we call it as secured debenture. Clear? Yes. What do you mean by unsecured debenture? I don't collect any documents from the company. I don't want any vehicle documents. I don't want any machinery documents. I trust that the company is stable, so it is running under profit. They pay me properly. By trust, if I give 5 lakh to the company, that is called unsecured. Being a public, being an individual, without taking any documents, without taking any proof, by trusting them, I am giving 5 lakh. That is called unsecured debentures. Hope you understood what is secured, what is unsecured. What do you mean by redeemable and irredeemable? What is registered as well as unregistered debentures? Now, so up to this your theory part. Now onwards, these are your problems. Now, the same thing we have already done in your issue of shares, like bank account data to share application to share capital, again allotment, first call, final call, 100% same, but instead of share capital we use word called debenture. Now again in debenture we have 3 stages. One will be application, allotment, first and final call. Now in debenture you don't have forfeiture and all, simple thing, and whatever I am explaining, this is your 6 marks problem compulsory. Now first 2 journal entries will be application, bank account data to debenture application account data to debenture account. You have to remember these journal entry. Remember, bank account data, this is compulsory. Debenture account data, debenture allotment account data. Whatever is there in the debit side, before the word to comes, we should consider this thing as data. Now, these 2 for application, in a white sheet you have to write down this, you have to mug up, because every problem we use same journal entries. I will not explain you these journal entries. Why? Because we already discussed in the issue of shares. Now wherever you can go back and check your journal entries, the same journal entry we have used, but wherever the share capital is there, we are not doing share capital, we are doing what? Debentures. Yes, Instead of share capital, we have used word called debentures. Now, application to entries, allotment. Debenture allotment to debenture account to premium account. If the debenture issued at premium. So, allotment 1 and 2. 2 journal entries. There are 3 journal entries. Write down. After this, again 3 journal entries. Bank account data to allotment, debenture first and final call, bank account data to debenture first and final call. Total there are 6 journal entries you have to remember. I go out of the screen, so write down all 6 journal entries. So this is all about your today's session. We discussed about what do you mean by debentures. Now, what is the difference between debenture as well as share capital? Now, what are the advantages as well as disadvantages? Once we're done with the theory part, also we discuss the format of your journal entry. Your 6 marks problem format also we discussed. Before you come to your second session, your homework will be you have to be thorough with the format. Why? Because I will not explain you the journal entries. Directly I'll go with the problems because already we discussed in the issue of shares. Thank you.